We need to move now. No delays.
The cabin lights were dimmed for the red-eye flight from San Diego to Norfolk, and most passengers were already asleep or lost in their screens. In seat 14C, an older man with salt and pepper hair cropped close to the skull sat motionless, staring out the window at nothing but black ocean far below. His hands rested on his thighs, palms down, fingers straight, old habit. The faded trident pin on his weathered backpack was the only hint that he'd once been somebody in a world most people only saw in movies. Captain Jack Reaper Harlan, Master Chief, retired U.S. Navy SEAL, 26 years of service, 4 combat tours, 2 Purple Hearts, 1 Silver Star he never talked about. He was 61 now, heading home for Christmas for the first time in 6 years. Home was a small house on the Lynnhaven River in Virginia Beach that still smelled like his late wife Sarah's lavender candles, even though she'd been gone 8 years. Their only son, Tommy, was buried in Arlington. Jack hadn't celebrated Christmas since the chaplain knocked on his door in 2017. He didn't sleep on planes anymore. Too many memories crowded in when he closed his eyes. So he sat quietly, breathing slow, letting the hum of the engines drown out the ghosts. About 2 hours into the flight, somewhere over New Mexico, the cockpit door cracked open and a young co-pilot stepped into the galley to stretch. Jack overheard him talking quietly to the flight attendant. "Yeah, we've got 2 F-35s out of Luke AFB escorting us tonight. Routine training hop, but they're riding our wingtips like guardian angels." "Cool as hell." The flight attendant laughed softly. "Fighter pilots showing off." "Little bit," the co-pilot admitted. "But they're good kids." Call signs Iron Fist 1 and 2. Captain Riley's leading. Woman pilot, first tour. Her wingman's a brand new nugget, Lieutenant Parker. They're practicing night air refueling intercepts, but they asked to shadow a civilian airliner for realism. Jack's ears pricked at the call signs. Iron Fist. He hadn't heard that since. He pushed the memory down and closed his eyes. 30 minutes later, the captain's calm voice came over the PA. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've got a pair of United States Marine Corps F-35 Lightning IIs flying formation with us tonight for a short time. If you look out the right side windows, you might catch a glimpse of their lights. Just a routine training mission. Nothing to worry about. Enjoy the show." A few passengers stirred, pressing faces to windows. Phones came out. A kid 3 rows up gasped, "Mom, look. Jets." Jack didn't move. He kept staring straight ahead. Then the radio chatter leaked. Someone in the cockpit must have left the intercom hot by mistake. The entire cabin heard it clear as day. "Delta 214, Iron Fist 1 on guard. We've got visual on you. Tally ho at your 4 o'clock high, Angels 3. Looking good up there." The captain responded, amused. "Iron Fist 1, Delta 214. Copy tally. Welcome to the party. You guys staying long?" "Roger, sir. We'll hang for 30 mics, then RTB to Luke. Just wanted to say thanks for the ride along. And hey, we heard through ATC there's a retired frogman on board." "That true?" Jack's heart skipped. The captain chuckled. "Affirmative, Iron Fist. Seat 14C. Master Chief Harlan. Legend in certain circles." A pause on the radio. Then a younger, female voice. Clear, confident, but with something underneath it. "Master Chief Harlan. Sir, this is Iron Fist 1, Captain Emily Riley, USMC. My dad served with you on Team 3 back in '09. Chief Warrant Officer Mike Riley. He told me stories about a pipeline training evolution in Kodiak where a certain instructor named Reaper wouldn't let anyone quit. Said you saved his life on a mission. In Helmand when things went sideways. He passed last year, sir. Cancer." The cabin had gone dead silent. Every passenger was listening. Emily's voice cracked just slightly. "I just wanted to say, thank you. For what you did for him. And for all of us who came after. Merry Christmas, Master Chief." Then the wingman. Young male voice, nervous but trying to stay professional. Master Chief, this is Iron Fist 2, Lieutenant Alex Parker. First deployment coming up next month. I don't know if I'm ready, sir. But hearing you're up there, it means something. Hoo-yah. Jack sat frozen. His throat tightened like a vice. Memories flooded in. Cold Alaskan water, young men shaking with hypothermia refusing to ring the bell, a dusty road in Afghanistan, RPGs, Mike Riley dragging a wounded teammate while Jack laid down fire. He hadn't cried since Sarah's funeral. But now his eyes burned. Slowly, he reached up and pressed the call button. The same flight attendant who'd been chatting with the co-pilot appeared quickly. She leaned down. "Sir." "Ma'am," Jack said, voice rough from disuse. "Can you patch me through to the cockpit? I'd like to respond." Her eyes widened. She nodded and disappeared. A minute later, the captain's voice. "Master Chief, you're on frequency." "Go ahead." Jack took the handset the attendant brought him, hands surprisingly steady. "Iron Fist 1 and 2, this is, just Jack now. Retired Master Chief Harlan." He paused, gathering himself. "Captain Riley. Emily, I remember your dad. Good man. Tough as nails. He didn't need saving that day, he saved me just as much. I'm real sorry he's gone. He was proud of you. I can tell." A soft static, then Emily. "Thank you, sir. And Lieutenant Parker, Alex. You're scared. Good. Means you're smart. Fear keeps you alive. But listen close. The teams, the Corps, this country, we don't need perfect pilots or perfect operators. We need people who show up when it's hard. Who don't quit on their wingman. You do that, you'll be fine. You've already got what matters." He swallowed hard. "And both of you, flying up there tonight, watching over a plane full of folks going home for Christmas, you're doing exactly what your dads and moms, and all of us who came before, hoped you'd do. Protect the innocent. Guard the sky. So thank you." From an old frog who doesn't say it enough. Silence on the frequency for a long beat. Then Emily, voice thick. "Copy that, Jack. We'll hold the line up here. Safe travels home." Alex added quietly, "Hoo-yah, Master Chief." The jets stayed on station for the full 30 minutes. Passengers watched in awe as the sleek F-35s, lit only by faint formation lights, held perfect position off the starboard wing, close enough to see the pilots in the cockpits. One time, Emily rocked her wings gently in salute. Jack finally allowed himself to look out the window. He lifted 2 fingers to his brow in return. When the jets finally peeled off with a final radio call, Iron Fist flight checking out. "Godspeed, Delta 214. And God bless, Master Chief." There wasn't a dry eye in the cabin. A little girl in row 12 walked back with her mother and shyly handed Jack a crayon drawing. 2 jets and a stick figure man in a navy hat, with the words, "Thank you, hero." An older veteran in first class sent back a bottle of bourbon via the attendant. Strangers shook his hand as they deplaned in Norfolk at dawn. But the moment that stayed with Jack happened outside baggage claim. 2 young Marines in dress blues were waiting, holding a small sign, "Master Chief Harlan." Emily Riley and Alex Parker had diverted their training flight plan, landed at Naval Station Norfolk instead of returning to Arizona, just to meet him in person. Emily saluted first, crisp, proud. Jack returned it, then pulled her into a hug. "You didn't have to do this, Captain." "Yes, sir," she whispered. "We did." Alex stood awkwardly until Jack hugged him too. They drove him home in a rental car, helped carry his sea bag inside the quiet house. Emily lit Sarah's old lavender candle on the mantel without being asked. They stayed for coffee, told stories about her dad, about flight school, about fears and dreams. When they left, Emily paused at the door. "Sir, Jack, Dad always said the teams were a brotherhood that never ends. Tonight proved it goes beyond that. It's a family, and you reminded us we're still in it." Jack nodded, eyes shining. "You reminded me too, kid." After they drove away, Jack sat on his porch watching the sun rise over the river. For the first time in 8 years, he hung Christmas lights. He put up the tree Sarah loved. He even played her favorite carols. And when neighbors asked why the sudden change, he just smiled and said, "Got a visit from some angels last night. Iron fists, but gentle hearts." That Christmas, Jack Harlan didn't spend the holiday alone. Word spread in the community. Local SEALs and Marines showed up with food, stories, kids running around. A new tradition started. Every year on December 26th, the Lynnhaven House opens its doors to any service member far from home. They call it Iron Fist Christmas. And every year, somewhere over the continental United States, a pair of fighter jets occasionally shadows a civilian airliner on Christmas Eve, just long enough to rock their wings at a certain window seat. Because some calls on the radio aren't about missions. They're about remembering who we are, who we fight for, and who's still watching over us, all of us, from above. Some bonds don't break, some gratitude echoes forever, and sometimes, the quietest man on the flight is the one who needed the loudest reminder that he is never, ever forgotten. Merry Christmas, America, and thank you to every man and woman who ever wore the uniform. Your nation sleeps peacefully tonight because of you.